What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access, and today we're joined by Trey Capital.
How you going on?
Thanks for coming through, sir.
Nice to meet you, man.
So, man, you got so much. Nice to meet me. I've only known you.
I'm just joking. I've
your entire life.
Entire life, basically.
So, yes, but thanks for coming through anyway, Trey.
Of course, man.
Appreciate it, man. So, you have a lot going on, and one of the many great things that you have is that you got a lot of high-profile shows, and recently you did the Art of Rap Festival with Public Enemy, Ice-T, Mobb Deep, EPMD, Curtis Blow, Busy B, and others here in Los Angeles. So for you growing up loving, listening, and studying rap, what does it mean to be on a show of that magnitude?
Spectacular, amazing. I just got to throw out the adjectives. I think for me, being on that list is like, it's still a trip, because you're thinking like, man, I get to open up for straight up like legends, you know what I'm saying? And you try to think like, am I even worthy? Like, can I do this? Like, but I think for me, I loved it, man. The energy was really great. Like, I've been coming off of doing a lot of shows, you know, like even doing South by, so to come from South by and like Chicago and coming back home and like doing this and headline stuff. I'm like, okay, this is like crazy. It's a very surreal feeling.
Yeah, and it was great to see that there were that many people for, you know, to have the icons in the building, and then I know you got a great response as well, and I think that's a testament to the movement and the momentum that you've built for yourself. So your most recent project, I Can't Die Yet.
Yes.
So with that one, how would you trace your progress artistically with that?
Well, I Can't Die Yet being my fourth project, I consider it like my first independent album, just because of the amount of time and I mean everything I've invested into it. I think artistically I've grown from being a very like raw, talented type of artist, like struggling to get my whole message across, not really being very direct and personal with my music. I think from the evolution of my first mixtape towards now, I really learned how to build projects. Like, what does it mean to make an album for yourself? And I wanted to challenge myself in not having any features on it. So I think a lot of difficulty an artist can have is not knowing how to structurally build from the ground up without being dependent on, of course you and the producers have to collab and work, but can you hold down a whole body of work by yourself? I think that's every artist should strive to make one of those albums. I feel like in there. And
I think on the project you even say something about, you know, being able to kind of stand on your own and believing in yourself. So that's obviously something that you've carried from your lyrics into manifesting it. So why is that so important to you, do you think?
Because I think you need to practice those habits now at an early stage. Because like I said, when I get to a certain level, I'm gonna have to know like, okay, when either the label's not helping me or everybody's like doubting me, you know, you have to know how to make nothing out of something. I feel like transgression. And I think for me, I wanted to do that now, like be hard on myself now, take the time to really learn how to do it. So that way when, you know, it comes for my time to really step on the court, I'm not just facading my way into saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop 30. Like I know I put in the time where like I could really achieve that and do it.
And in doing so, how have you seen, from what you can tell, that it's paid dividends for you already?
I think for myself, I've learned standing on my own too like that, whether it's my lyrics or me believing in my bodies of work. I think it teaches me the greatest thing is you have to really trust the process and believe in the end result. You know, like me being able to sell my music and then not being out full bodies of albums, like EPs. I started selling EPs. So realizing that I could sell EPs was like, damn, like maybe 2 projects down the line, I might be able to really sell 5,000 units, 10,000 units. You know, obviously CDs are they're dying, but I think like even with streaming and all of that coming into place, I'm practicing that now. Like Apple Music, they said, man, you should try selling your product. I'm like, well, my stuff's not gonna sell. I'm not even big enough to get probably 1,000 people to buy my stuff. But since I took that leap of faith and really saying, well, no, like I probably can if I really put the time in, and seeing, you know, results come back and earning dividends and doing that is kind of like a trick, because you're like, you know it can work, but you don't see it happening until you really do it.
And then to that point, this wasn't part 3 of your series.
It wasn't. Oh my
What was the decision behind that?
It was, people wouldn't have appreciated it. I feel like everything's burning so rapid now.
Okay.
If I would have done a part 3 and continued the series, I feel like I would have been caving in my fan base.
Okay.
I haven't expanded enough to even do that. And it's like Tropic Thunder. Like I would have been making like the 6, 7, 8, 9. Like I would have been, people would just be like, when are we getting Gundam 7, Gundam 9? Like I don't want to be confined to that. Oh my God, dude, it'd be so crazy.
Okay, and then so as you grow artistically and as you're learning these different lessons, how do you keep pushing yourself to achieve and get to that place where you're selling the 10, 20, 50,000 units?
I think the desire to want to make greater product.
Okay.
I feel like when I went from Gundam 2 to just only focusing on there's no limitations, there's no boundaries, we're just gonna make whatever we feel. And then coming over to I Can't Diet and really saying, no, I really need to be mindful of how much I fit into a stanza, or how much I fit into my 16s. Like, what am I really saying? What am I getting off? Like, I think you become more conscious of the things you want to say. And I think it doesn't become clear until you actually, like once you drop it, sit back, see people listening to it, you're like, damn, I should have done this. Like everything kind of reveals itself way after you've done it. You're like, what the fuck, like why didn't I listen to this or think of this when it was happening?
Do you think that that's part of the culture now though, with everything being so fast? Do you think it's because there's an emphasis on putting out material and doing things quickly and not taking time, or is it
I think because the bar is so high that people don't, it's like chickens running with their heads cut off. People think if I just drop 17 mixtapes, that's equivalent to a Carter 2 album, you know, or a Biggie album. And I think that the whole meaning of classic, and they've taken so much time, but they put so many reps in to where they could, like Pac, for example, he was throwing out so many classic albums, but you know, there's only one Pac, you know what I'm saying? And his experiences that he went through, that was not rushed, that wasn't like forced. And I think a lot of people get, like this culture now with everything being so fast, it's like there's pros and cons to it, because when you stumble upon something really great, you're like, oh my God, you hold it with everything you have. But then there's so much fizz out there that you gotta go through just to find it.